What's poppin', people? My name is Duckcat, and today I'd like to discuss the developer update for April 2024 in Dead by Daylight. Now, there isn't a lot to discuss in this developer update. Basically, they only changed like 3 things, pretty much. So let's go and get into it. And then at the end, I am going to discuss like the implications of these changes and like the design philosophy of these changes and how this shit's going to play into the game and how they should change their actions going forward in the future. But let's go and get into what they changed. So the Twins, they reverted basically everything they did from the PTB, and rightfully so, because the Twins were busted. I didn't make a video when the PTB was originally announced for the Twins, because I don't fucking play Twins, bro. I had to see that shit in action. I'm not about to give my fucking opinion on something that I don't fucking play extensively, and I just don't play Twins like that. And I don't understand like the nuances of their power, so I'm not just gonna get on here and yap about fucking Twins, right? But they reverted that shit, rightfully so. Basically, now Victor, he cannot latch on to survivors who are put in a dying state. He can once again latch on to survivors who are injured by his pounce. And Charlotte no longer gains a haste boost when Victor is latched onto survivor. I think they should have probably kept the haste boost that Charlotte got when Victor's latched onto a survivor. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they should have kept that. I don't know. We'll see. But those are pretty good changes. They kept all the other quality of life changes, like making her switch to Victor faster, switch back to Charlotte faster, being able to switch to Victor near a hook. They kept those, which is nice. That's going to make her feel better to play. But overall, I mean, that's what the community asked for. So overall, okay changes. The Blight, they basically nerfed the Blight. They nerfed one of his add-ons that increased the initial rush duration to 0.5 seconds. It was 1 second. And they nerfed one of his add-ons that increases the initial rush speed to 5%, and it's down from 10% from the PTB. So they nerfed Blight his 2 of his speed add-ons. And Decisive Strike, they removed the animation for Decisive Strike. And the perk is still going to be 5 seconds to stun a killer. Which is good, because the perk was bugged because the stun time and the animation didn't line up. I mean, hopefully they add it in a future patch, just make the fucking animation faster, I suppose. I don't know. But, you know, hey, that's a good thing they fucking removed it. They removed it. That's nice. And then, finally, Ultimate Weapon. Now, Ultimate Weapon, it'll depend on where the locker is placed, how much value you get out of the perk. So now, if affected survivors will once again scream instead of having their aura revealed. And the new change is that survivors within 32 meters of the locker are affected. So basically, as soon as they open the locker, that's when you'll be affected. And it's only going to be like in a 32-meter radius around the locker and not like moving with the killer. So like if a nurse blinks across the goddamn map, you aren't going to scream. It's just going to depend on where that locker is placed. So that's I guess an okay change, whatever. And yeah, that's what they did. Now, here's the thing. I can't blister behavior too much for this shit, because they have been like doing what the community wants over the past few months. They haven't been fucking just shoehorning shit into the game and stuffing shit into the game that they worked hard on or whatever, and they spent time on, and like they justified putting the shit in the game because they spent time on it. So, like, they've actually been taking feedback from the community, from the PTB. Because there was a time where they didn't do that shit. In 2021, when we got the UI changes, they didn't do that. Everyone was like, these UI changes are trash. They suck. Go back to old UI. They said, fuck you. We doing this UI anyway. They pushed the shit live anyway. They eventually cleaned it up, but they pushed the shit live anyway. Y'all know how I felt about the Hillbilly changes back in 2020. They fucking pushed that shit live when nobody asked for that shit to happen to Hillbilly. And they pushed the shit live anyway. They didn't listen to people give feedback like, hey, bro, you just do to Hillbilly. You didn't have to do that shit to Hillbilly. You just needed to nerf his char speed add-ons. What the fuck behavior. And they said, fuck you. We're pushing the shit live anyway. Right? And even when the movement was changed, people didn't necessarily like that. And they did it anyway, you know? And that was back in 2020, 2021. But now, they're doing shit that we asked for as a community, which is nice. Now, the problem is, all right, this is the problem. It sucks that it takes something going live for them to realize it was a bad idea. And let me explain what I mean by that. They need somebody in that studio who has an extensive knowledge of playing Dead by Daylight. So they need someone who like streams this fucking game regularly, someone who has a lot of hours in the game, so they can like read shit and say, okay, this is fucked up, you shouldn't do this. Like someone could have read those Twins patch notes and said, okay, that's a little too much, that shit's gonna fucking break goddamn Twins, you can't do that shit, right? Someone could have read those Hillbilly patch notes. That's too much. You're nerfing Hillbilly that much. Why are you doing this? You shouldn't do that shit. Someone could read these notes and avert all that potential nonsense that makes it even to a PTB. And not only can they read the patch notes, but they can also actually play the game and play what they have planned and tell them, okay, you don't go forward with this shit because this shit's busted or whatever the fuck. This shit's too weak, too strong, whatever the fuck. You can't do that. So we need someone in the community who does that. Like, put them on the NDAs so they can't fucking dispose. They can't like talk about anything they've been doing in your little testing environment or whatever the fuck. And make it to where there is somebody with extensive knowledge about this game who helps you make your decisions. I vote fucking OddsDarver, all right? I vote. Goddamn, that sounds so fucking. Forgive me. That sounds so self-absorbed. What the fuck does my vote matter? I think OddsDarver should be a person or one of the first people you look at to fulfill that role because he has a lot of hours in the game. He's basically a diplomat for Dead by Daylight. When I think about Dead by Daylight and someone who like is the face of this community, I think about OddsDarver. So I think you should start with him. And then trickle down to other content creators or other people who play the game extensively, all right? So that shit like this doesn't get worked on and you waste resources with this shit, all right? Because these could have been resources spent on reworking Michael Myers or reworking Freddy, right? Or buffing Trapper. Or reworking, one of these very low tier killers. These could have been resources spent on that. So I would want to see that in the future. Have somebody from the community actually play the game, because I hate to say this shit, I really do, but it is clear that there isn't really anyone in behavior who is making these decisions who has an extensive knowledge of Dead by Daylight. And it's crazy to say that because they literally work on the fucking game. But it's clear they don't really play their own game. Either that or they play it like rank 20. Right? So we have to fix that. But you know what? I'm going to give props where props is due. They listened to the community and they didn't just fucking put this shit out anyway. That's props. That's fucking props. All right, that's progress. Now we have to go ahead and get somebody in there who, I hate to say this, but who knows what the fuck they're doing. Okay. Anyway, I am so sorry I haven't really been uploading Dead by Daylight videos like that. I just haven't felt like playing this fucking game. I haven't played this game in like a week or so, almost a week. And when I don't feel like playing Dead by Daylight, I don't fucking play Dead by Daylight, bro. I take breaks from that shit, right? And I hate that, but it is what it is. I'm going to utilize that second channel a lot more because, when I do play other games, I should be recording content and I should be putting it out on my second channel. So if you want to, go subscribe to my second channel, The Fake Duckhead, because when I'm not putting out Dead by Daylight content, I'm probably going to be uploading content on that channel so that I at least keep my little content stream going, even if it's not on Duckhead. But anyway, I'm out this bitch. Y'all niggas have a good day. Bye. Going.